Don't mind the mic being plugged into the wall because yes, it is indeed out of power. I am clearly somewhere else, somewhere that I'm not normally at. We are, Hachi and I, as in we are at my family's property right now out in Texas, kind of like a rural town in Texas. And we're just staying in one of the little cabins out here. And it's raining outside and the birds are chirping. It's like one of the most magical experiences being out here. It's honestly so nice. I have been sick all weekend, really just needing to like unwind and get out of the apartment to a place that I can just like absolutely just chill, honestly, just chill and do nothing. We just kind of like packed everything up today and just left. It's been raining kind of all day, just storming, so we've just been kind of hanging out in here and walking around the property and stuff. I have a very exciting vlog coming up for you guys. We will be reading some very popular book talk books, Bookstagram books this week while we're here in the cabin. I have them here. I ended up finishing The Reaper at the Gates this morning, which is the third book in the Ember and the Ashes series, and I have some thoughts on that book, and I kind of just need a break from that whole thing. Not as if it was bad, I just need a break, and so I need to read some other books by other authors, so I thought it would be kind of fun. There's also so many new releases coming out soon that I want to get through some of these before those new releases. I also just realized that light just turned off. So the first one that we're going to start out with is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I know very little about this book, except that it has something to do with like death, going down to hell. It's a romantasy. Somebody told me it's pretty spicy. I know this took the internet by storm last year, and I am having major FOMO and have been, and for whatever reason I've just been eyeing this book on my shelves for the past month or so. So I really want to get through this one, and I feel like I'm going to be able to binge it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's raining really hard outside right now. Can you hear? We're going to read this one first, and hopefully it's good, and hopefully I love it. This is the one that I have on my Kindle, so I'm going to start with that one because it's already pretty dark, and I prefer reading on my Kindle at night. I'm a granny, okay? I can't see. The next one that I honestly wasn't really planning on reading, but I saw at the bookstore today. Broken Souls and Bones by L.J. Andrews. I saw this at the bookstore and I immediately grabbed it because I've seen this also taking the internet by storm this week. People are loving this book. I know that L.J. Andrews is not a new romantasy author. I know that she's been writing romantasy for a hot minute now, but I've just never read anything by her. So this will be the first. I'm excited about this one. I figured, why not? It's a gorgeous cover. We'll definitely try and get into this one in this video. And then this one I'm also excited about. I have been also eyeing this book for such a long time since I bought it, and have seen it around everywhere, which is Dagger in the Flame by Catherine Doyle. I really know nothing about this book either, except that it's about assassins, and it's a fantasy romance. It says, in a deadly game of revenge, the most dangerous mistake of all is falling in love. I don't know, the cover is like super cool looking, and she has a literal knife to his throat on the cover, so I can get down with that. And then we have one more that's also kind of like a little random one that I picked up at the bookstore today, which, come to find out, it was out at the bookstore a day early, which is this gorgeous book called Morrighan by Mary E. Pearson. This is a prequel to the Dance of Thieves duology. If you guys haven't read that series yet, what are you doing? You need to read that duology. It is such a good, solid, well-balanced, well-rounded duology, and I guess this is a prequel to that. I had no idea this was coming out, but it has these like really pretty sprayed edges. The inside, all the pages are just like really pretty with like artwork and stuff. How cute! The squirrel! Are you kidding me? This looks like it's gonna be something that's like so sweet and fun, and like it almost looks like a Tarzan vibe. It's super short, 225 pages. See, we have so many good options here. It's ridiculous. You know what? I need to just start Phantasma because I know that I've been wanting to read this for so long, and I'm not gonna stop thinking about it until I read it. So we're gonna start with this book. You guys let me know down below if you've read any of these. Tell me which one was your favorite. If I liked a certain one, what other book would you recommend based off of that book? Because I am in my romantasy mood. I just like fell headfirst into a hole of romantasy within the past 2 weeks, and I'm just gonna be inhaling romantasy books for the foreseeable future, I can already tell. I'm just gonna be in this cabin listening to the beautiful rain sounds and binging this book.
through the arbor, in the garden room, wings are beating, baby, me and you alone. Pencil drawing phases of the moon, all through the stages, both becoming seen into. Slowly we take on phosphorescence, vivid in the bond, phosphorescence. In the heaven.
Well, good morning. It's now the next day. It's a little bit later. It's 11:37. Hashi and I were just having a slow morning. We went for a little walk this morning, walked down to the pond, read at the pond a little bit, and I wanted just to get outside before it started raining. I realized that I haven't updated you at all since starting Phantasma. What page am I on? Page 234, level 3, chapter 25. And I'm just about halfway through at this point. So far, I'm having a fun time. It's not going to be like a 5-star or anything for me, I can already tell, but I'm definitely having a really fun time. The premise of this book is essentially this girl, she's like a 23-year-old girl, she has a sister, their mom just recently died, and she is trained by her mother in necromancy, and I guess helping like ghosts pass on to the afterlife or something like that. And so essentially, when her mom passes away, they inherit this giant, cool, old Gothic mansion, but mom had taken out some loans or something, and so long story short, her and her sister owe a bunch of money to the bank, and so they're at risk for losing the house, and her sister decides to take care of it on her own. So she like writes her sister a note, leaves, and doesn't tell her sister where she's going. So her sister, Ophelia, who's the main character, is going off on this quest essentially to try and find her sister and figure out where she's gone. And she ends up entering herself into this deadly competition called Phantasma, I think. Yeah, so Phantasma is the actual competition, which takes place inside the Devil's Mansion. And I guess it's like this like thing that comes around to the towns every once in a while or something, and so she could win like this really good, she could win a prize that'll eventually, she'll win a prize that essentially will just take care of their debt. But she thinks that her sister had entered the competition, and it's a really dangerous competition, so she enters herself to try and go find her sister. She meets this guy, of course, who is tall, dark, and handsome. He's not human. He's some type of like paranormal creature. I think he calls himself a phantom, but I don't actually think he's really a phantom. I think he might be something else that he's not fully disclosing. That's where we're at right now, about halfway through. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's funny. It's very witty. I think the banter is kind of funny, and so far the spice has been like pretty tasteful, so I am having a good time. I'm just gonna hopefully finish this book tonight and then start on one of our other books that we have. Just wanted to give you a quick update on where we're at, and then I'll let you guys know my other thoughts as we get further into this book.
A billion signals move, call and answer, dozen pairs of 2 by 2. Slowly we take gold.
It is much later in the day now. It is currently 10:30. I did finish Phantasma earlier today. Today was kind of a weird day. It was just like raining, thunderstorms all day, and we ended up having to run to the store because I did not bring enough food or water here, so we had to go to the store and come back, and it was just kind of like a hot mess. But I did end up finishing this later in the day, and I had a fun time reading it. I had a good time. I loved the love interest. I think it was really sweet. There's an epilogue at the end, which is always a fun little like tie up at the end. And I would say I would give it like a solid, I'm hovering in between like a 3.5 to a 4 star for this one. I think it is a safe one to recommend to anyone that's looking for a fantasy romance, and a really good place to start. And you know, I don't feel like it had, well, I kind of feel like there was a lot of spice, but it definitely added to the plot. Like, it wasn't just there just to be there, in my opinion. So yeah, so we finished our first book in this video. I did have to go to the store earlier, which I mentioned, and I walked by the book section, obviously, and guess what I found? I found this little beauty at the store. I completely forgot that it was release day for this one, and another one that I've been really excited about. This has been floating around the romantasy internet for a little while now, and people are freaking out over this book, saying that it's like a mixture of Hunger Games and Fourth Wing. So I figured that that counts as a pretty popular book talk romantasy book, so we're gonna be reading this book next. It seems like it's gonna be a quick little romantasy read. Let's see how many pages. That's another 500-page book. I don't know, I'm picking like the longest books to read in this video. Maybe I'll read, so I have another option. I have this one here too, Morrighan by Mary E. Pearson. This is a short little guy. So I am either going to jump right into this one because I can't wait any longer, or I'm gonna read this tonight and then jump into this one in the morning. We'll just kind of see how I feel, but either way, I want to be able to get to both of these and the stack that I have over there as well. But I think that this it's just calling to me. Yeah, those are our options, and I will update you guys in the morning on which one I end up picking, and I'm very curious to see my thoughts on all of these. Good morning, guys. It is now the next morning. I have no idea what time it is. I have just been relaxing out here by the fire. I just finished this little, I don't know if you would call it like a novella. Basically, it's a prequel. I originally thought it was a prequel to the Dance of Thieves duology, but it's actually not. It's a prequel to the Remnant Chronicles, which is the Kiss of Deception series, which I have not read that series yet. It's a little trilogy. I haven't read it because I was told that it's like pretty YA. I really loved this. This was such a beautiful story. I just love Mary E. Pearson's writing. It's just beautiful. It's well-rounded. She writes such just like beautiful, genuine love stories, and I loved this. I would highly recommend this to anyone, even if you're not even planning on reading the Kiss of Deception series, like I'm probably not. This is still just like a beautiful standalone to read if you're in the mood for like a short little sweet romantic fantasy story. So highly would recommend that, and I'm very happy that I picked it up. I wasn't sure I was going to. So my plan today is to just enjoy kind of like the rest of the day out here. It's beautiful out. The sun is finally out, thank goodness. So we were able to make a little fire this morning. It's been really, really nice having a fire out here. So I think we're just gonna enjoy the rest of the morning out here and then probably head home in the next few hours. And I do want to start Silver Elite before we leave, so I can get a little bit into that. And then we'll pack up and head out.
Through the arbor, in the garden room, wings are beating, baby, me and you alone. Pencil drawing phases of the moon.
So I am literally only on page 9 so far. I'm loving this book. It's not what I thought. It's actually dystopian. It's not really like a romantasy technically. It's like a romantian. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure we just met our male main character on page 8, and I can already tell what kind of book this is going to be, and it's going to be a really freaking good book. I do just have one thing to say. She describes his smell as pine, leather, and a hint of spice. And I just don't know how many men out there actually smell like pine. And I really wish we could come up with some like more creative smells to describe our men, because every fictional man smells like pine and spice and cinnamon and smoke and wind and water, and it's just like, let's come up with something else, you know what I mean? But I can already tell this is gonna be a really good book. I was skeptical because I always am with super hyped up Instagram books, but hey, this one seems like it's gonna be a good one. It's already pretty fun, so I'm gonna keep reading for a little bit, and then we're gonna pack up and head out, and then I'll keep you guys updated on my thoughts.
All through the stages, both becoming seen into. Slowly we take on phosphorescence, vivid in the bond, phosphorescence. In the heavens, a billion signals move, call and answer, dozen pairs of 2 by 2. Slowly we take on phosphorescence, vivid in the bond,
I'm back home now. It is now the next day. It's definitely later in the day. It's like 6:30. I got home late last night, and then my husband got home from a work trip. We were just kind of like hanging out with him last night and catching up on stuff like laundry and all that. But I did get some reading in, and let's talk about it. The way I'm so excited about this book right now is not something that I've felt for a while. And I was so skeptical starting this. I take the dust jacket off. I don't know if you guys do that or not, but most of the time I'll take the dust jacket off just to, I don't know, it kind of gets annoying and like fall off and get caught and stuff like that. So I'll usually just take it off. So anyways, so I'm getting distracted already. So I have read quite a bit of this book now. I think I'm on page like 206, chapter 22. So enough into this book to know that this is going to be a very, very highly rated book for me. I'm having so much fun reading this book. I think the reviews were spot on that were saying that it's like a combination of Fourth Wing and the Hunger Games, because it's very much gives, it's honestly like a clone of Fourth Wing, to be honest. It's like, even the way the book is published, like the size, the page, like the pages, and like even like the chapter headings and stuff is like exactly like Fourth Wing, but in a Silver Elite form, if that makes sense. This is definitely like a clone of Fourth Wing, except minus the dragons, and make it like 100 years from now. Like, it's so good. It's so full of action, banter between the characters. Like our main female character is like super witty, and I love that. She'll give it right back to people who are like giving her. I just love it. I guess it's kind of, I don't want to say too much about the plot just because this is going to be fully spoiler free. Like I won't post any type of spoilers or anything like that unless it's fully disclosed in the title or whatever. I don't want to give away like things that could take away from the experience of reading this book for the first time, because I think that a part of what's so fun about this book is that you don't know really what's going on. There's so many questions right now, even still like 200 pages in, like I have so many questions about the world and, you know, why they're in this type of world that they're in, and, you know, who our female main character even is. Like she's using an alias, like we know that she's not who she says she is, and it just like constantly keeps you guessing, and I think that's just so much fun. The chemistry between our two main characters, full of tension. They are true enemies. It's very believable that they're enemies. This is a very solid fantasy romance. I don't even know if you would consider it a fantasy. Maybe? I mean, it is a fantasy, but it's kind of like sci-fi, right? Whatever. Either way, honestly, if you loved Fourth Wing, like you will love this. And I'm not even halfway through yet, and like I already know it's just gonna be good. So I'm hoping this is a full series. I don't actually know if it is or not. This is one of those books that like I want to read it so fast and get through it to figure out what happens, but I don't want to read it fast because I know it's gonna be over and I know I'm gonna be so sad. Like this is the kind of book that's gonna put me in a reading slump. Unfortunately, love a book that can put me in a reading slump, but I hate the reading slump because then, well, I'm not gonna be able to find anything else that's going to compare for it for a while. And I have a stack of books that I'm really excited about, but I'm eating this book up. I have not been able to stop thinking about it since starting it yesterday. And hey buddy, you got your pickle? Come here. Oh my gosh. Hey, he got this new pickle toy from Target and he loves it. Stop. He's been so tired ever since coming home. So yeah, anyways, I am so excited for everybody to read this book. So many people are gonna love it. This is definitely gonna be the next big book. I'm already calling it now. I had this feeling when I read Fourth Wing. I just knew. You just knew that this was gonna be something that's gonna like sneak up on people, and people are gonna freak out over this book. So I've already ordered it for my friend for a birthday gift, and I cannot wait for her to read it. Those are my thoughts. Honestly, I just want to like sit here and finish this tonight. I really, really do. We'll see if that can happen or not, because I still have like, I don't know. This is a 500-page book, right? It's a 500-page book, and I'm only on page 200, so that's like 300 pages to read tonight, and I am not sure if I can do that, but this is the kind of book that I would want to do that for. So we'll just see, we'll find out together. And I will let you guys know if I have any more thoughts or whenever I finish it. This is me 10 minutes after finishing Silver Elite. It's literally 11:45. I have not moved from this seat since updating you last. I absolutely devoured the last part of it. And I'm definitely gonna have to like gather my thoughts and talk to you more about it in the morning. But I'm just so happy that I picked this book up. This was amazing. This is a really, really good book. Okay, I'm gonna update you guys in the morning after I get some sleep, and we are gonna chat about these books. Hey guys, it is now the next morning. Well, it's actually 5:30 the next day. I ended up going to Round Top, Texas this morning with my mom for Mother's Day. We're doing like an early little Mother's Day thing because I actually work on Mother's Day. So we ended up going there this morning and having a really fun time. We actually ended up stopping by the little Round Top library, and I did get a couple videos of it, and so I'll actually insert those here because I think you guys would really appreciate the little library there. It was so cute, and it was an old church, so the whole library is in the old church building, and so it just gives us this really cool like old feeling, and like the architecture and stuff, like the pointed windows and stuff. Oh, I just loved it so much. So I'll insert that footage here now so you can see it. So we ended up doing that today, and so I didn't really get any more reading in today. I wasn't able to pick another book, and I do want this video to go up tomorrow. So I won't be reading any more books in this video, but I do want to talk about this book that we finished last night, and clearly it kind of left me in a frazzled state after I finished this, and rightfully so, because I haven't stopped thinking about this book all day. And I don't think it's like, I don't even know how to describe it because I love the book. It was so much fun, and I think that that's why I loved it so much. It's just because it was a good time. It was fun. I felt like there was a lot of action, a lot of good banter between all of the characters. I liked the female main character. I think she was just like kind of relatable for me, and so it was easy to just like want to be in that story. There were just a couple things that a couple problems I had with it that like I don't even care that much about, because that's just not kind of like the reader that I am. Like if I'm having a good time, I'm going to enjoy the book. That's just kind of how it is. It doesn't have to be the best writing. It doesn't have to be like a perfect plot. I just don't really think too much about it. I'm just not like a very critical reader. I did feel like I could guess like certain plot points or like twists that were gonna come up. I definitely guessed those like pretty early on in the book, but there were definitely plenty that I didn't guess or think about. And I'm not somebody who like goes into a book trying to figure out what the plot's gonna be. Like I just read it, and then if it happens, it happens. But there definitely were a couple that were like blatantly obvious that were gonna happen. And then I really just like fell kind of in love with the world. It's a really cool world. I think that there's a lot of questions still though on like the history and stuff, and I'm curious to see if she's gonna go more into that in any like following books to this. More of the history, more of like the science and stuff behind the people. So I realized that I didn't really do a good job of kind of describing this book and the whole premise of it. So essentially we meet this girl. Her name is Ren. Basically, right off the bat, we figure out that that's not her real name. She's kind of like an alias, but we never really find out who she is until the end. So we know that she's using an alias. We know that she lives in like a dystopian world where there's people who are called mods, who are modified by radiation, essentially, from a nuclear war that happened in the past, which is super ironic and probably very intentional by the author. So there's mods, and then there's just like basically regular people. And the mods are outcasts because they have outstanding abilities that other regular people don't have. And so there's like people who can speak telepathically between each other. There are people who can heal. There are people who can like have, I guess, like extra strength or whatever. Like there are a bunch of different variations of it, and they're still learning about them and still like studying them. So the government, or the general, is who I guess runs the government. These people are outlawed essentially, so she's having to hide that she's a modified person. Anybody who's modified basically gets killed or sent to like labor camps and stuff. She's like hiding her abilities. She's living with this like adopted uncle who's been training her whole life to survive and use her abilities and like kind of hone her skills and stuff. And since the very first like page, the very first chapter, so many things start happening, and they just keep happening. Like I just feel like this book just consistently had things happening. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of adventure. We meet new characters and stuff. I think I said last night that this is like Fourth Wing, but in a dystopian version minus the dragons. And if you liked Fourth Wing, you definitely need to be reading this book and at least try it out, because I had such a fun time. I don't know if it's like a 5-star. It would land probably anywhere between like a 4.5 to 5 maybe. I did really enjoy it. The girlies out there are freaking out, and now I know why. I definitely think that you should try this book out as well if you are thinking about it. That is it for today's video. I have had such a fun time filming this and talking and just like ranting about these books and just like experiencing them with you guys, and hope you guys enjoyed like the outdoorsy, naturey part of it, because that's also another really big part of me. I love the outdoors. I love hiking. I love just like being secluded in the woods like that. So that just like added a whole nother element to this that just made it so much more fun and cozy and like Alex. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video next Saturday. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you guys later.